We're back at the South Platte River and we are doing a little camping and some cooking out. And so I'm going to show you a really good, healthy Colorado breakfast scramble, and it tastes great and I think you'll really like it. Let's get with it, and I'm going to start with the bacon. I said yesterday that I normally just do 3 pieces, but Ranger, my hiking buddy, is here, so I'm going to give him one of the pieces. So 3 for me, 1 for Ranger. Isn't that how it goes? Dogs never get the good end of the stick. One thing I learned when cooking out here is cooking the bacon is different than cooking at home. I use a different skillet at home. Out here, this cast iron skillet, it tends to cook it a little bit faster, so you have to watch out for it being burnt, not cook it too high. Oh, the smell of bacon, especially at a campsite. Sometimes while cooking, I'll move the bacon from the outside to inside, switch them up so they cook more evenly. Of course, when I'm cooking with my wife, she likes them burnt, so she gets the middle pieces and I get the outside pieces. I like them moving a little bit. Pulled a couple pieces off already, and now I need to get these off because I would cook these ends a little bit more, but the middle's getting too done. Time for the vegetables now, so we're gonna just go ahead and cook it in the bacon grease, and we might have to add some olive oil, but here's my vegetables from yesterday. Gonna get them all in there. The onions and the bell peppers I think need to cook a little bit longer than the zucchini and squash, so let's let this cook a little bit. Oh, that color. I love cooking with these vegetables and having some nice color in them. Let this cook for a couple minutes, and now we're going to add the zucchini and the squash. I normally cook the vegetables at home on medium to high heat for about 15 minutes. And of course, it's going to be different for everybody because some people might like a softer, more cooked vegetables. That's where I like them. If you want to have them a little more crunchy, then cook them less time. So anyway, I would say 10 to 15 minutes. It might be a little different out here camping with the cast iron skillet, but we'll see. I have all the vegetables in here now except for the tomatoes. So at this point, we're just going to cook it until they're sauteed enough that where I like it. And I'm going to go and break up the bacon now and get it ready to go in when the eggs go on. Make sure you salt and pepper or whatever other seasonings you like, salt and pepper to taste. I personally like a lot of pepper. And my family, when I cook for them, I have to tone it down a little bit. And of course, I also have some Tabasco sauce, which I'll add. In fact, I'm going to add it right now. Let it cook with this Tabasco sauce for 5 minutes or so. Gotta get it hot. Gotta live on the edge. I thought I was going to have to add some olive oil to this, but 4 pieces of bacon actually made a nice amount of fat from the bacon. It doesn't look like a lot to add it. So my tip here, one of my tips here, make sure you blow on this, but check it periodically because you're checking it for seasoning and how well done it is. Still a little too crunchy for me, but seasoning is just about right. One nice thing about that bacon grease is it really does give you a nice flavor that the olive oil doesn't give you. Olive oil tastes great and I love it, but sometimes adding a little bit of bacon or bacon grease will make it a little better. It's time for the eggs. The vegetables are done good enough for me. Sometimes you should break these before putting them in, just to make sure you don't get any shells in there. But hey, I'm camping. A little shell's good when you're camping, right? Not really. So there's different ways to do this. You could break these in here, make more of a scramble. Personally, I like to just put them in here whole, and then I usually also like to salt and pepper a little bit more after they go in. Get a little more salt. Just a little. Then, secret ingredient is the pepper jack cheese. So let's add this. I just lay it right over top of the egg. And sometimes I'll actually use a little bit more than 3. Here comes that wind again. Hope you're not hearing it, but you probably are. So I'm going to add a 4th slice of cheese here. Well, let's get some bacon on here. There's the bacon, and then we'll just throw on the tomatoes. Just spread them around. Got a little too much in one spot. That's okay. We're camping. No big deal. Not cooking for anybody special except for me. And lastly, put the lid on it, and then set your timer. It depends on how well you like the eggs. I let mine cook about a minute there before putting the lid on, so I'm not going to do any more than 3 minutes. And what happens is you almost get a little bit of a poached egg on top, but when you let it cook here, turn the burner off after about 3 minutes and then let it sit for another 3 to 5 minutes, cooks it really well. You got to be careful, it'll overcook it because it'll continue cooking after you turn the burner off. All right, timer went off. Let's see what it looks like. Actually, it looks pretty good. You can see it's still runny. It'll be sunny side up, but I'm going to turn the burner off, and this is going to sit here and cook a little bit longer. And in fact, I'm going to put the lid on, and we're just going to let it cook as it cools down, and we're going to have an incredible breakfast. We've let this set for about 4 or 5 minutes now, so let's take a look at it and see if it's any good. I may be talking louder than normal because this wind is kicking up. Let's see. See there, that one's runny, but I like runny. So let's see what pepper jack cheese, a little egg yolk, you know, mostly done, with some vegetables, and see how it tastes. That's really good. So what I like to do is I like to run the runny egg there to get in with other vegetables and things like that. The bacon's in there too. You get tomatoes. This tastes incredible. This is the Colorado Breakfast Scramble. Wow, this really hits the spot. I'll tell you why I like it so much. Because sometimes if I have too many eggs, it starts to get a little overwhelming. It feels a little heavy. But when you add the vegetables in here, and then you can, you know, add a little fat with the bacon if you want, but adding the vegetables kind of cuts down on how heavy the eggs feel. And I can eat this a lot more than just eggs by itself. So here it is, Rick's Colorado Breakfast Scramble, or you can just call it the Colorado Breakfast Scramble. It's a great breakfast, and especially it tastes wonderful when you're out in the mountains and you've been hiking and you just need some really good food. Thanks for joining me on this Colorado Breakfast Scramble on Mike and Rick Outdoors. And hit that like, subscribe button and turn on the notification, and you'll get notified of all these other great hunting, fishing, and outdoor activities when we get them posted. Have a great day.